Welcome back everybody to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Nvidia stock, it's up 1.25%, so another fresh new all-time high on Nvidia stock. And look at this Bollinger Band on top, now fully extended all the way up to 1200 plus. So early as tomorrow, if not sometime this week, as long as Nvidia can actually stay above this breakout, $1,155, watch out for a move straight back up to 1200, and that can come early as this week. Now if there is a pullback, now there will be strong support right here at 1155. Below that, we also will have support rising 5-day moving average 1132.79, and then flat 1100 down to even this gap. If there is a pullback, a really hard pullback, 1064.75. Now as long as Nvidia can stay above, like I said, 1155, you're going to see continuation into tomorrow's session all the way up to 1200. And now, I mean, look at this, guys. We got this hammer candle. It was a red hammer candle, and then yesterday another one, and we got another one today on Nvidia stock, and definitely going up to 1200, and that could be coming this week on Nvidia and possibly maybe even tomorrow. On Apple stock, it's up 0.16%, so Apple got up to 195 plus, and again coming and pulling back down to where this previous high right here, 193, and pretty much right at the support 193, pretty much exactly holding above 193, going back up to 195 plus, and now trading at 194.35 at the closing. So Apple here, definitely Apple can move up to 196, 198, and then 200, and those are upside targets on Apple stock above 193. Below 193, watch out for a dump off down to 13 SMA right down here, 191. Then we also have supported 190 and then 188, 20 SMA, and Apple somehow gives up and gets under 188. That is when you're going to see a lot more selling all the way down to 183. Until then, Apple still can move higher up to possibly another fresh new all-time high, and that should be around 200 and possibly even higher. On Microsoft, it's up 0.65%, so Microsoft got a pullback again today, coming slightly under 413, but going back up and holding over 415, and that is looking good for tomorrow's session on Microsoft. As long as 413 to 415 can hold right here on Microsoft, the next stop right up here to this 5-day moving average 418 and then 420, and once we get that breakout over 420, Microsoft going all the way back up to 422, and then this gap 425.69. But I think very soon, if Microsoft can hold above 413, you're going to see Microsoft going back up and closing this gap just under 426. Now anytime you see Microsoft actually breaking under 413 and staying under 413, that actually will tell us that Microsoft wants to come down a bit more, down to lower Bollinger Band 405, and then this gap. So if this thing breaks out over 420, that is when it's heading higher for this gap. And if this thing actually breaks under 413, that is when Microsoft pulling back and possibly coming down to this gap just under 400. So keep that in mind. Right now, there is no trade on Microsoft. I mean, things can go either way on Microsoft, to the upside or to the downside. We need to see if there is a breakout over 420 or a breakdown below 413 should take Microsoft down to this gap just under 400. On AMD, it's down 2.18%. So AMD and all the other chips are not really following Nvidia. Usually Nvidia goes up and you will see a rally on AMD, AMU, and all the other chips, everything going back up, right? But recently, at least for today, it's not really following Nvidia. And you can see Nvidia pushing higher, hitting all-time highs again, where AMD not even holding 160, gave up this 20-day moving average support right here, 160 to 161, and now trading just under 160. So here on AMD, guys, unless we go right back up tomorrow over 160 to 161, and also we take out this resistance right here, 164. I mean, you can see a rejection from today, 164 pretty much right there, and a rejection came back and now actually came down to 158.87 and then went back up just a tiny bit before closing and now trading just under 160. So AMD definitely not looking good until we get that breakout over 164, and below 160 this thing can come down easily down to this gap 153.49, and then we will also have support at 148 on AMD. On Meta, it's absolutely flat on the day, and look at this pullback today, just above these two moving averages right here, 472, and came back, holding the support, went back up, and now trading at almost 477. So Meta here, nothing really happening. We need to get that breakout over 490, and that should take Meta back up over 500, and also will close this gap at 484. But if this thing breaks down below 472, also takes out 470, then watch out for a move down to 462 and then 452 all the way down here. Below 452, it's not moving higher. You're going to see a dump off all the way down to 400 to close this gap down here. Now Meta breaks out over 490. In that case, it's heading higher, 500 plus possible on Meta again. So we just have to wait for that confirmation. A breakout over 490 should take Meta higher, and a breakdown below 452 should take Meta down even lower, down to this gap just around 400. On Amazon stock, it's up 0.56%. So Amazon, we took calls last week on this dip at 175, and today even the runners sold out completely. And why? Because you can see this resistance trend line sitting at 180, and I pretty much got out near 180 today, locking in profit on Amazon. So all these trade ideas, and especially swing trade ideas, this was a swing trade, live trading, and any help you need, and especially if you're serious about trading, guys, definitely check out the link down below in the description for Patreon, and you get everything that you need on my Patreon to become a better trader. Now here on Amazon, 180 breaks, watch out for this gap on top, 181.55 up to even 185. Below 180, watch out for the support down here, 176, 173, and then 167. On Google stock, it's up 0.41%, and now Google trading over 175, holding 20 SMA, this white line, as a support into closing. So here on Google, there will be strong support at 175 for tomorrow, and below 175, watch out for a dump off, possibly down to 170, and then we also have strong support right here, red line 50 SMA at 165. As long as Google can hold 175 and we get that breakout over this previous all-time high 176, that should take Google back up all the way up to 180, and that should be another fresh new all-time high. If this thing can actually break and hold 176, easily going back up to 180 again. On Tesla, stock is down 0.86%, so the breakout that we're looking for definitely did not happen today. And why? Because Tesla actually came back up. And if you look at my screen, we got these moving averages right here. White line 20, orange line 13, and the blue line 5-day moving average. And you can see they're all sitting around 176 to 178. So we need to get over inside this wedge. Tesla needs to get over 178. It needs to hold at 178, and then easily we could see Tesla touching top of this wedge and also the resistance here at 183. And over 183, that is going to be the breakout from this big consolidation that we are seeing here on Tesla to the upside. Now also keep that in mind. Tesla today closing pretty much at the bottom of this wedge and barely holding just over 50 SMA, 172. So this should hold here on Tesla if there is a pullback, 172. But moment Tesla takes out this red line, 50 SMA, 172, you're going to see more dump off all the way down to 168 and possibly going down to even 152. So this wedge breakout can happen anytime, but also you got to be careful if this thing actually breaks down from this wedge and takes out 50 SMA. In that case, you got to get out immediately. Tesla will dump even more. So we need to watch out. Inside this wedge, Tesla needs to get over 178 and then you're going to see 183. Until that happens, you're not going to see a breakout to the upside on Tesla. So be careful if you're playing Tesla, but definitely Tesla here worth the risk taking, because worst case scenario, you can get out breaking below 172. On Netflix is down 0.34%, but at the end of the day, holding 630 again. You can see multiple rejection at 630 before, trading here sideways for a long time, then came back, and then we got that breakout to the upside all the way up to 664, and now pulling back into this support area right here, 630, and so far for last 3 days, it's holding 630, right? So 630, you'll line the sand, but if that gives up tomorrow, watch out for a drop, possibly down here, and that's going to be around 622 to 625, and below that, 50 SMA, this red line, 610 down to even 604. Now to the upside, Netflix will find resistance at 638.79, and then 5-day moving average right on top, 641.86, and Netflix can clear all that, then watch out for a move back up to 662 to possibly this high again, 664.25. So watch out. As long as Netflix can hold right here at 630, definitely it actually offers up some upside, and this thing can move back up to 664 again.